Those heartbreaking images are now the harsh reality for so many who fled their community as the inferno moved in. It's now leaving some to question if they were prepared and should the renowned national park have had better fire planning. CTV's Kathy Lee spoke with some Jasper residents. Kathy, a very emotional time for everyone.
Heather, some residents I spoke to today who've taken shelter in Hinton are grieving the loss of their homes or their jobs, but they're also expressing anger at Parks Canada for not doing more to protect their town. For years, Parks Canada and the municipality of Jasper have removed trees and branches and ignited control burns. A few years ago, trees were cut down on a slope west of the town to create a protective fire break. Still, some residents say a 5-kilometer wide fire break should have been built around the entire town. A man I spoke to who lives in Jasper and worked at the Moline Lodge that burned down says the situation is surreal. He is in Hinton and trying to get financial assistance.
We knew it was coming with all the dead trees and pine beetles and whatnot, and weren't putting in the fire breaks and whatnot. So I think it's partly government's fault. Sad, scared for the future. My anxiety's going crazy right now.
A wildland fire expert says Jasper is at the confluence of three valleys and wildfires love to run up and down the valley, which means the town is in a high risk area to begin with. He says a fire break around the town could help, but the burning embers are a big problem.
Even though it was kilometers from town, was already dropping millions and billions of little burning bits of bark and twig onto the town. And because it was so hot and dry, things like there's lots of dead grass. And so you get a whole bunch of what we call spot fires. And there wasn't enough people to put out all these spot fires.
Flanagan says Fire Smart programs, which encourages homeowners to build with less flammable materials, among other measures, should be mandatory. Adding Canada should have its own federal emergency management agency, just like the United States, to be able to deploy quickly to natural disasters. Heather.